Hello, why? Hello, YouTube. I'm glad and welcome back to Folsom Fridays. Now, as my friend Victoria on her channel, or her video, started this wonderful story of Harry Potter and Doctor Who mashed together, I get the opportunity to finish it. So, let's do this. Okay, so we left off with the Doctor appearing at Hogwarts and the girl, who I still think is a cat. That part wasn't really clear. I don't know if she ever turned back to a human, but the girl is now 18. So technically, and she's graduated. So let's start. After hearing the wheezing noise, a mysterious blue box started to appear. The girl was bewildered by this random appearance of a box, and so she waited to stay around. The next thing she knew, an old man stepped out of the box, looked at her, and told her that he is the Doctor. Not understanding what he meant, he began to question him, what do you mean by, did you use magic to put this box in here? I mean, where do you come from? What are you doing here? He explained that this box can appear anywhere because it's a time machine, so he can make it appear anywhere. And that there's some type of trouble here at this castle-looking establishment. And she said, well, don't you know what this place is? It's Hogwarts, Academy for Witchcraft and Wizardry. And the Doctor was like, oh, well, that's good news. And so the next person, then he stepped out and began to wave what she thought was a wand around the school, investigating the makeup of the stone, while another girl stepped out of the blue box. This girl was known as the Doctor's companion, and she introduced herself as Clara Oswald. Now, after identifying what the stone was made of, the Doctor was asking her several questions. She didn't understand what the purpose was for. She only thought that this man was weird. I mean, claiming to be an alien race, that doesn't make sense. So the Doctor explained that there's some type of trouble at Hogwarts, something that wizard and magic probably won't be able to solve. She decided to help him and give him a tour around. Seeing as it was around Christmas time, most of the students were gone, and only a handful of students left, and most of the time they were in their room because they didn't have anywhere else to go because it was freezing outside. And so she showed him the Great Hall, and the dorms, and the dungeons, and the classrooms, and the courtyard. She even showed him where Hagrid lives. But when they got to the corridors and saw the statues up above in the scaffolding, he questioned them deeply. And she just said that they were statues. I mean, they were used to defend Hogwarts in the war against the Dark Lord, but nothing else, nothing special. And the Doctor continued to question her. And he looked at one statue in particular. And then he decided to disregard it. You know the Doctor. He changes his mind so quickly. But then he turned around again, and the statue had moved just a tiny bit. Just an inch. And he knew from that very second, and he told both Clara and this witch, to run. And Clara asked the Doctor if it was a weeping angel, and he said yes. There is a weeping angel at Hogwarts. And the witch, not knowing what a weeping angel was, questioned him. He's like, well, what does it do? And the Doctor quickly explained that it is a creature of stone that cannot be destroyed by any other means. And it can only move if you're not looking at it. And so the two left, and the Doctor had to face off it for a quick second, and then had to run away. They ran back to the TARDIS to regroup. And the witch entered into the TARDIS with the Doctor and Clara, and found out it was bigger. Yes, indeed, it was bigger on the inside. Now, seeing as this new threat to Hogwarts was a very dangerous one, the Doctor had to think of something. And asked this witch, how could she help? And she said, well, I know I have magic, and she pulled out her wand. And the Doctor looked at it and was like, isn't that a sonic screwdriver? And she told him, no, it's a wand, I can use magic. And she showed them a simple little spell. Knowing this, the doctor thought of a great solution, so their plan went into action. By this time, it was about midnight on Christmas Eve. So they're running around the castle trying to find that weeping angel, and they did. So their plan was they had to capture it. So the statue had moved, actually. They got to the statue and found out the statue had moved. It was no longer in its rightful place. So they went on an investigation to find it. It took a couple hours, but they finally did. And so this young witch at 18, she whipped up a jelly-like substance big enough to capture the weeping angel completely. And so, knowing this in mind, they cornered the weeping angel, and they moved the jelly-like substance into position. They had someone stand behind the jelly-like substance, but it was still see-through, so the angel could still see you. So the doctor and the companion and Clara left, and the witch turned her back, and the weeping angel started to move. And the doctor and Clara were observing it from a mirror. Were looking at from the sides of the corner with mirrors so that they could watch this all happening. And they noticed that the weeping angel started to move, and it entered into the jelly-like substance and was captured. From there, she used her magic to move the entire structure, the entire substance with the weeping angel inside, and move it into the TARDIS, where the doctor had a cryogenic freezer ready. They stuck it in there and they froze the jelly substance and capturing the weeping angel forever. It was time to say goodbye. This was a great adventure they all had. But it was time for the doctor and for Clara to move on, as they always do. And so they said their goodbyes, and the doctor said that she would be a great witch one day, and she was going to be very, very clever. And the blue box started to disappear. And the witch wrote this journal down, hoping that one day she might reflect on it. That's the end. It's not a very good story. I kind of ad-libbed, but there you go. Hope you enjoy this video and this wonderful tale we weaved. I hope you all are having a good week. And remember, smile. Your daily dip of knowledge. It's not really more of knowledge, it's more of just a quote that I really like and I've heard recently quite a bit. It's from Winston Churchill, and it's a quote: "If you're going through hell, keep going." See you guys next week on Folsom Fridays. Bye.